Good.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Zach. This is Billy. We're here for the morning. Mark and Burge just got tied up in prior arrangements. How are you this morning, Bills?
I'm good. I'm just feeling a bit dark, Zach. I'm trapped. I'm trapped somewhere a bit scary, but I'm here to talk with you about how we break Suburb records.
Well, it is a great question. It comes with a bit of luck and a lot of skill.
Yeah, I think more the skill. There's a lot of fish in the sea. You're a new kid on the block. You've obviously done your homework, been in the industry for quite a number of years now. Talk us through how the transition's been, first of all.
Well, I've been at Novak or in real estate for 5 years, kind of next month. And as of the 1st of July, I've just kind of been doing my own sales thing now. So I spent about 4.5 years just training pretty much in whether it was sales support, which was where I started, working under a few colleagues who I loved. And then I'm transitioned to more of a sales associate role under Michael Bergio himself. And I worked under Angelo, and I worked under them both to get a lot of training out. And then I became Lisa Novak's kind of PA for 2 years, which was a great learning experience and really put me on a platform to where I am today.
Yeah, awesome. And so now you started in sales. First of all, are you less busy? Are you more busy?
I'm more, if it makes any sense, I'm a bit more organized because I'm almost in charge of my own time now.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more structured, but definitely more busy. I'm finding myself home a lot later and out the door a lot earlier since starting in sales, but the hours are quite varied. I found the busiest times of your day is when everyone else isn't working.
Yeah, you're a bit nocturnal, like an owl.
Yeah. Gotta love a late night and early morning. That's about the end of it.
Well, that's it. Whatever you're doing, real estate's the sort of industry from my experience, over the last 9 months or so, that you've got to be putting in the hours when people are around to talk to you. Because, during the day, everyone's got their own stuff going on. You can't be picking up the phone and connecting through to every one of those phone calls.
Exactly. You've always got to be following up in more convenient times for the client and less convenient times for yourself.
Yeah. So time management, that's been a big one for you.
It has been a bit of time management. I spend about the first 15 minutes of every day just running through a diary, making sure I haven't forgotten any tasks, any things that I have to do, whether it's preparing a market appraisal, getting a sales advice prepared for a contract, like just organizing all those tasks, and especially in order of priority.
Yeah. So day-to-day activities or jobs that you need to do, is that changed much?
I would say it has day-to-day activities because it's a lot more generating business for yourself and a sales role. So you've got to be having a lot more conversations with people. You've got to be out of the office a lot more, whether it's doing letterbox drops, where it's dropping off mail, whether it's generating your next promo campaign. You've always kind of been thinking 4 steps ahead about, I need to get this done and how do I get there?
Yeah. What's coming up next after this little hurt? Yeah. And I've seen it myself, Zach. You've got some pretty interesting marketing ideas. Talk us through what's working and what's your favorite so far.
My favorite personal kind of marketing strategy that I've used for myself is probably social media, because I find it a really authentic platform, a place where I can just be myself and people will elect me based on me just being myself. Because I found a lot of agents like the lifestyle and like the glamour of being a real estate agent, but it's almost a work profile of them, and then 5:30 kicks over and they become themselves. Whereas I just kind of adopted the strategy of just being myself 24/7. Trust me, it is much less of a headache.
Yeah, a lot easier, that's for sure. Yeah, that's cool. So, but in terms of, and we'll go into this a little bit later on the episode, but in terms of what's getting you results, have you found ways to market yourself, your stock, in ways that you hadn't thought of before when you were an assistant?
Well, I've adopted a lot of Lisa's marketing strategy for how I advertise my own listings, whether it's on Facebook Marketplace, which is a great way to generate inquiries, especially on the more first home buyer attractive apartments and a lot of entry level stock, because I don't want to talk ill of anyone, but it's a lot younger people on social media platforms and looking for their first home purchase. And it's almost a new age of marketing, this social media kind of being the forefront of showing a property. Whereas you'd always just sit there refreshing the browser on, let's say, realestate.com or waiting for that next email to hit your inbox. Social media is a lot more of a proactive way to get your properties out and to have those conversations with buyers, chat to them about what they're looking for, and just have those discussions. And hopefully you can help them at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's cool. So you found that inquiries come in alongside the genuine interest of the property. So you're getting a bit of both?
Getting a bit of both. So just to kind of have a bit of a tale of the sale, recently I listed a one bedder in Brookvale Avenue. Yeah. We went live on that one last Tuesday. It went out to all my social medias and everything, Lisa's social medias. So the team all put it out there. I had 22 inspections booked for Saturday in the end on that one better, and it ended up selling on Wednesday for $920,000, which is actually a Brookvale Suburb record for the most expensive one bedroom unit.
Insane.
It was a good fun and a lot of stairs. I think one of my buyers counted and there was 70 stairs up to the apartment. So I got pretty fit after that campaign.
That's gold. Yeah. So, and in your experience, what got that one over the line? What, worked best? Was it the social? Reaching out? So the social
generated the inquiries, but at the end of the day, you're employing an agent because you feel comfortable talking to them. And I found just having open discussions with these buyers that they almost respond a lot better because you're being upfront, you're being honest with them. There's no kind of smoke and mirrors. And I just find if you be genuine from the get-go, people will return the favor.
Yeah. Have you found that the pressure of backing this up time and time again is too hot to handle, or?
Well, look, I'll be honest. When you're comparing yourselves to kind of the more animals in the business, like the people I work with, like Team Lisa Novak and everything, who are churning kind of 8 properties over a month, it's a bit intimidating getting out there and not kind of knowing where your footing is, where you stand. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty chuffed.
Should be.
Having started on the 1st of July and everything, since then I've transacted 8 sales, just running solo. Recently, I sold a 2-bedder in Wetherill Street. They purchased it for $760 last year in September, and it sold at the start of this month for $980,000. So I was pretty happy for those vendors because now they're going to be able to facilitate that move and move it into a house up north.
That's huge.
I know. Sorry?
I said that's the aim of the game. That's what we're here for.
Well, that's it. We help to kind of facilitate the move in the next step, especially from apartment to house, where it's house back down to apartment, where it's just property to property or a location move. A home is kind of your biggest asset at the end of the day. It's probably the most money you'll ever spend on any one thing, whether it's for yourself, for the future, yourself as an investment, or for your family to grow into.
Yeah.
And I just found being patient, because I came into the industry at the age of 18 and I was a bit hesitant. I was like, personally, if I was someone who owned a property, I'd be a bit hesitant to hand the keys over to someone a bit young. So I kind of waited and took my time and learned and pretty much was a sponge for 4.5 years. And I absorbed everything I physically could. And I'm doing it now, I think, I hope, touch wood.
Well on your way, Zach. We're proud of you.
Thanks, Bills.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And so the consistency, like you say, it's an ongoing thing. It's nothing to worry about as such, as long as you know you're putting in the effort. You think that it always reaps the reward at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. And one of kind of my standout factors, yes, I am young. And yes, I do have a bit more time on my hands, not juggling as many listings. So I actually show properties anywhere from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m., Monday to Sunday. And I just kind of offer that convenience to both the client, the vendor. And I personally love working, especially in a lockdown environment. What else can we be doing? So I really enjoy what I do, and I don't mind doing it 7 days a week at all.
Well, I think that's a huge selling point. Being able to get your prospective buyers through anytime, any day. At the end of the day, you're selling a product that's good, amazing, brilliant, and to achieve that record sale price, you've got to be there all hours of the day, 7 days a week, which you are. And so employing such an enthusiastic, good-looking, strong, knowledge agent like Zach, you favor having someone at your property every time you need it.
Thank you, Bill. Well, yeah, it all just comes down to kind of being yourself, because when you're sitting down in front of, whether it's that buyer, that landlord, for instance, if you work in rentals, that prospective landlord, a vendor, they're employing you for the way they feel when you're in front of them, because they want to make sure the buyers are feeling that at ease and that sense of calmness almost, because it is quite a stressful thing purchasing that property, moving into that new home, and you just want almost someone that knows every step of the way in depth, which I personally think I do, and just that can walk you through every step and is comfortable taking their time with you and just kind of getting you through it.
Yeah, 100%. I think that applies for sort of everything, with whether it be rental, sale, it is a big commitment. Mark talks about it often. You transact these big purchases and sales probably once or twice in a lifetime, if it's your standard family home, and so you want to make sure you're getting it right and going out with someone that you trust. Trust is a big one.
Yeah. And just some kind of tips that I'd give to anyone looking at getting to sales themselves, whether it's kind of someone transitioning from rentals, whether it's someone jumping into the industries, be patient. Your time will come, and just back yourself. At the end of the day, like I will be honest, I've dumped a bit of money into myself and just trying to back myself because pretty much you idolize a goal. Everyone has their own goals and dreams and aspirations, especially when it comes to a job like this, and almost put that on a pedestal and just make sure you're pushing yourself every step of that way.
Yeah.
And you're ticking every box. And the main thing is that you're consistent.
Yeah.
Whether it's posting 2, 3, 4 social media posts a day, whether it's making sure you're always getting back to clients within 10, 20 minutes, just whatever your niche is, be consistent at it and be proud of it.
That's a big one. What's yours, Zach? What's your niche?
My niche is, I don't know if it's so much of a niche, but I love the area I live and work in. Myself, I grew up in Oaks Avenue in DY. I've always loved the area. I've always loved the suburbs we've worked in. I grew up around here. I went to all the local schools. I've done the local sports. I was a local Boy Scout. I've always just loved giving back to the community. And I find it a really rewarding career as well, just to be helping the community again.
Yeah, it's huge. And you're doing a really good job, Zach. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. Anyway, did you have any questions?
I think that's obviously the dream of progressing into sales one day. I think the patience side of things that you mentioned is really important. Obviously, I'm really eager to get in and go, but you want to make sure the timing's done right. Otherwise, you might reach a hurdle before you even get up and going.
Well, that's it. And I know a couple of the other agents out there. It's a really tough listing market at the moment, being in the middle of a pandemic. It is quite tough. There's high transactional numbers, but especially due to uncertain times, you're not sure who to go with, whether you do want to sell now, whether you want to wait till post-lockdown, whether you even want to move at all.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to that patience helps you build the confidence that you can not only instill in yourself, but instill in the people you're looking after.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's up? What's the next one? You got an exciting one at the moment.
I do. I've got a house coming up in Manly Vale. It's pretty cool. I'd keep your eye out for that.
Definitely. Yeah. No, I think that's most of it this morning, Zach. That was it was
Beautiful.
a grilling on how you achieve Suburb records.
That's it. Well,
You've-
just be consistent, be genuine, and people respect you for it, and you'll do better business that way, I've found.
Yeah. And if you're looking to get into the industry, be patient, absorb the knowledge around you before you do make the jump. And yeah, sink or swim. I think you're swimming to the beach.
Funny fact about the beach: hate the sand, love the water.
Problem there.
I know, mate. Like you go to England, they have pebble beaches there, don't they?
Yeah, beautiful. Just the water's not too good.
Stunning. Anyway, I'll see you soon in the office.
Cheers, Zach. Thanks.
Beautiful. See ya. Enjoy your day, everyone.
Bye.